Yeah,
telescope.
we should.
Our tiny telescope that lives in our plants.
Wow, wow, nice.
We are live.
That's so nice.
And we are live. Wonderful. Welcome everybody who's here on time. I think we're going to wait maybe a couple minutes to let people roll on in, and then we can get started with our conversation with Arash. We were just showing off the tiny astronomy related toys that we have in our respective rooms. Here, of course, we have our Earth ball. It's taking up space in the background. I want to make sure that it's visible. Arash, is there anything else interesting in your background that you want to point out?
Yeah, sure. This is my astronaut.
Yes, your astronaut. Turn it
My
on.
astronaut, yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Amazing. Oh, is it
That here.
like a magnet?
Let's follow.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, that's
Yes,
so
it's a magnet.
cool. That's awesome. We need one of those. Put it in the budget. Okay, well, maybe I think we can go ahead and get started. Welcome everybody to Pathways to the Cosmos, another of our conversation series that we have here at the IAU Office for Astronomy Outreach. My name is Kelly Blumenthal. I'm the director of the IAU Office for Astronomy Outreach, and I'm really glad to welcome today our NOC, our National Outreach Coordinator, or one of them for Iran, Arash Danesh. Who is a postdoctoral researcher at the Iranian National Observatory and the administrator of the Maghard team. For the last 20 years, he has taught at a variety of age levels, from preschool to the Iranian National Astronomy Olympiad team. He has dedicated his time to establishing effective connections between professional and amateur astronomy communities, combating misinformation, strengthening connections between science and society, and finding innovative ways to make the most of available resources. Welcome, Arash. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, thank you, Kelly, and thank you for inviting me. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you just fine. Thank you.
Okay. So,
hi, I'd like
everybody, and thank you for inviting me.
Yes. Sorry. No, please go ahead. My apologies. It's difficult with the
No.
not in person here.
Don't worry. Yeah, I'm here to talk about something interesting about astronomy in Iran. Our works as Nox, me and Moja here, and I want to introduce you the team, Maghar, and their activity, and also outreach as our common interest. So thank you for inviting me.
Yes, of course. We're going to get into all of the things that you mentioned. It's really exciting to have you here to talk about your work. And so I actually, just to start us off, I want to know really why you decided you wanted to become part of the National Outreach Coordinator Network. And also maybe how you collaborate. You mentioned Moja, who's your co-NOC for...
The reason...
how do you guys collaborate? How do you work together?
The reason is why I want to be a co-NOC of Iran, National Outreach Coordinator of Iran, is the reason is being a part of this community is the best reason to collaborate. Having a great people who think alike and who have the common interest, who have the common thoughts, and I know all of them trying to help their society. So why not? Why not to be part of this great network? And also we have lots of things that are, and the thing is, small amount of people knowing about all these activities around Iran and globally. So, yeah, as we all say, me and Moja, we want to say it louder that we are working in Iran. We had lots of activities about astronomy in Iran and lots of amateur astronomers, amateur groups doing great jobs that they deserve to be seen more and uh, appreciate their works.
Mm. So you
This is why I'm
yeah,
on the journey.
sorry.
And also, well, how do I collaborate with Moja? We stay in touch every day. We talk about our plans. We talk about our program. We think about uh, how can we promote astronomy in any ways in all in schools, universities, uh, public areas, talking about the what we can do about the light pollution that these days a little disturbing.
Mm.
And yeah, we stay in touch every day. We talk every day, almost every day, and talking about what can we do as the national outreach coordinator to help people who do their activity or to brighten the minds, the thoughts to do the best.
Mm. That's all we can really hope to do, is to encourage people to do their best. But what do you do within your community? What's like the core of what you're really trying to do in your communities in Iran?
First thing, we try to make a network, local network for all the amateurs, all the doing jobs in astronomy in Iran. You know, we had lots of astronomers, amateur astronomers in Iran. As I hope Moja just correct me if I'm wrong, but it's more than 20,000 people registered in Iran who were working in astronomy outreach as amateur astronomers. So first, we need to make a communication to communicate to each other, knowing each other, talking to each other about their activities, about their thoughts, about their um, beliefs, everything. First, uh, build this network locally, and then uh, just connect to the biggest, the bigger network that we have, like Knox Outreach out there.
Mm.
And yeah, and also we try to help people who want to join us in a astronomy, something like stargazing parties or something.
Mm.
We think about to make a safe and supportive environment for every gender to come and join us in this journey. You know, talking with planetariums in Iran, working with them, uh, asking children and women to come and just enjoy. This is science, you know, and I think the best thing in our region, let's say it in some well political way. We think in our area, in our region, the science, especially astronomy, is something like it's clinging in a lifeline in a storm sea, you know.
Mm.
So yeah, Um, these things are activities more working more in these things, thinking about these things to uh, help our community to grow, to just have fun in a short time, even in a short time. That's good.
Yes. Learning and having fun at the same time. Very, very important. So actually, I want to ask you, you mentioned just before we started this call that the program you're the administrator for, the Magard program, it was started by a young girl, right? Do you want to talk a little bit about that program and what
Yeah.
you guys do together?
Yes, of course. We had a team. We have a team named Mahgard. Mahgard in signifies lunar cycle in Farsi.
Mm.
So at first we try to have an event monthly, just when the full moon, we have a full moon. So we think, I just want to say about the name. In a full moon, astronomers, amateur astronomers, had they have free time because of the light of the moon. They can't go for stargazing or astrophotographic or uh, some activities like this. So the best time is full moon to come together in an environment that you know each other, you know all the people there are think alike, and talk about your problems, talk about your challenges, and then think about the scientific uh, phenomena in words that all can understand,
Mm.
not like a professional who talk about very complicated uh, things. Just we have children, we have businessmen, we have elders in our community who want to know about astronomy. So
Mm.
come together, talk to all these uh, people who want to know, who want to learn something. And this is the main concept of making Mahgard team. And then because all these founders are girls, so make an environment safe for women, for girls to feel free to come and join this event. You can spend more nighttime with all girls with
Mm.
a safe environment in a safe environment, even if there is a cultural issues, uh, because you are all we are they are all girls. This is a safe environment, and families are very comfortable to let their girls come and join this community, enjoy the night sky. And also, we are storytellers. We think there are lots of ancient beliefs that come to our life. Uh, Something that we're trying to bridge is the astrology instead of astronomy.
Mm.
So, through storytelling, we try to tell the people those beliefs are not science. Just forget about them. There are lots of beautiful story in science that you can just listen, enjoy, and learn. You don't need to go and believe something like astrology or something. that are not science. This is all about the marketing.
That's really fantastic. It reminds me of this phrase, stranger than fiction. There's things in science and astronomy that will completely blow your mind and so much more outlandish than anything that we could think up on our own. Nature is really incredible in that way, that it constantly surprises us with the ways in which it works and everything just kind of fits together. But I love that you talk about, creating this safe space for young women and girls to, really embed themselves within this community to really learn about astronomy and science in a way that maybe they wouldn't in other places. And I wonder, do you see the impact, the long-term impact of how having this community has affected them?
Yeah, we see. We start with a small group of girls at the beginning, and we see the number of children, the number of girls that are joining us in our monthly events are growing up to even, I can say, 60%. We had our market last month, and we see how this community is growing. As just a rough estimation that I made in when I saw the number of audiences, we're growing up to 60%.
That's amazing.
In a year, in a less than a year. That's very interesting for me. So we're not stopped at this point.
Good.
This is something that motivates us. Yeah, that motivates us. Okay, we are in the right direction.
Yeah.
Just continue.
Absolutely. Clearly something that the community wanted and needed. This is fantastic. And how frequently do you do this program? Is it every month with the lunar cycle, or less frequently?
Yeah, this is our this is our vitrine. This is a monthly events that going every month. But beside, we are doing lots of teaching activities for preschoolers, for school students, and let me say something. We were thinking about a competition that we just try to prototype test it in our event. Something like we call it the Cosmic Crosswords competition. Yeah. Okay. We want to share some questions with our audience or other who want to know and want to learn, to think about all these things through all the months, and we will answer it in our event. So this is something that continuously going through all the month. Also, we had another fun competition in our event. We call it Zing Zang. You can think about Big Bang, but it's about Zing Zang. It's the sounds of a bell. The volunteers come and try to ask our questions, try to answer our quiz, and before you answer, you have to zing the bell, right? To ring the bell. It's called Zing Zang. And also, we're working to, let's say, we what we call them is the children with different minds. This is one of our program that finds some sources to teach those part of the spectrum to do not stay away from the learning, do not stay from having opportunity to um, understand the beauty of the cosmos. Those minds are different from ordinary minds that we are every day seeing. But yeah, we are working with children with different minds and trying to find sources, find the ways how to teach them astronomy in a way that they are enjoy and learn.
That's so important too. I mean, I think, and this is something that I've heard like over and over again. And when talking about education, if you target your educational resource or your curriculum or whatever you're trying to do to the people at the margins who don't usually get served, you will ultimately wind up benefiting all people that you're trying to work with because of the different ways that you can think of to engage these people. And having this diverse way of really bringing content to people in different ways that they can understand it is so important. And I think one of the things that you did, if I'm remembering correctly, is you blended, different parts of the humanities into the science content that you were talking about, like using poetry to talk about different concepts in science. Could you talk a little bit about, the like interdisciplinary stuff that you're doing in this program?
Yes, for sure. Iran has a rich historical legacy in poetry, in storytelling. So this is something that is in our gene. It's something not from let's say it's not something new. It's not something foreign for our people. So we try to find the roots. In poetry, there are all the people have common sense about it, can connect to these things, and so we are making music. Where we are making music with astronomical terms who want to share with people, and some kind of storytelling phenomena that we are using in our past. So we combine all this with new science, with astronomy, pure science. And in this way, all people can have a mutual feeling, understanding about what we are talking about. And the most important thing, it's very easy for them to remember everything. So science, art, combining together, it's something that is very easy to memorable.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
maybe I play our music, or I will send our music to you sometime.
Yes, please do, and we can put that in the description of this video so that other people can listen to it as well. Gosh, there's so many things that I want to talk or ask you about right now, so I don't know which order to go in. But speaking about videos, you made this amazing video featuring kind of elders in your community, women in your community. I wanted to play a little snippet of that, but I actually don't know if I'd be able to do that effectively and smoothly on this YouTube live. But can you tell us about it? Maybe describe what it's about?
Yes, for sure. We think about how can we celebrate the women in science in Iran. We want to celebrate the Women in Science Day in Iran. We think about the women in astronomy at first, but we say, okay, there's lots of other scientists, women working in Iran at the age of the science. So we made a video to tribute the mother of, as I say, mother of astronomy in Iran, Ali Nushtarian, who is the first woman who had a PhD in astronomy in Iran. We find the video, and also we had an interview with the scientist women with focus in astronomy, of course, but in other fields also, to talk about their challenges, not ordinary question that you may ask if you see a scientist women. Okay, what are you working on? No, before we are scientists, we are human. All the girls before they are scientists, they are mothers, they are women's. They had lots of challenges. So let's talk about these things. What is your most challenges during the journey that you have just passed? What is the most motivation that you're waking every day and saying, okay, these motivates me to continue. We all know how there's lots of challenges, but what is your motivation? And also, how can you just overcome the challenges of being mother and a scientist at the age of the science in the front line? These things are very important because, you know, the women have these challenges and there is no place for them to talk about these things. Be free, talk about these things. You're just human being. Feel free to talk about these things. And yeah, this video is something that we love it because it makes a connection between our girls in Mahgard and our great scientists in any fields.
Mm.
They motivated, okay, there's lots of challenges, there's lots of barriers, but see these girls, see these scientists, they overcome all of this. So just continue, you can do that.
Mm. That's such an important message for young women who are looking or hoping to go into STEM to hear that, you know, it is possible, and maybe it is getting better. And I think also, you know, it's an important thing. We were just talking about this today, actually, how important it is for men to also be part of that conversation, understand the challenges that women face and how difficult it can be to balance all of these things, and the barriers that they face, and the ways that men can really stand up for women and say, you know, this is maybe an unfair system, or, you know, within, you know, the walls of an institution say that, you know, we need to have certain policies to make sure that prospective mothers are not secluded from or precluded from opportunities, or making sure that there's equal representation of men and women in various parts of the academic process. And I think having men be part of this conversation and recognizing and having almost like this training in understanding that women are an important part of the scientific enterprise. And without them, we wouldn't have, you know, the same kind of innovations. We wouldn't have the same kind of technologies or discoveries as we would otherwise, because diverse teams always make us stronger no matter what. So it's really, really, truly important, not only for women, but I think also for the men who are engaging with the content that you're creating. And I hope they are. And I hope that you're sharing it with everybody that you possibly can. And again, we'll put a a link in the description below so that people can watch the video so they can get a glimpse of what it's like to be a woman scientist in Iran.
Yeah, and if you are not thinking about or allowing the women in science to um, communicate in your community, in your university, in your culture, it's something that you just watch the whole sky with one eye. You know,
Mm.
The point of view that women think and look at the concept of the cosmos is something it's different from it's a little bit different from uh, the man that are doing during the history of science.
Mhm.
So yeah, the world is just being better place if you just allow women in science to represent their work, their point of view, their vision in science.
Yeah, yeah, it's so important, so incredibly important. I think we kind of talked about some of this already, and I think you talked about pieces of what makes communicating astronomy, communicating science in general, in Iran different and unique to other places in the world. But could you just maybe, talk about what you think is really special about communicating astronomy in Iran? What makes it like really exciting for you, and then also what makes it challenging? Because I'm sure, just like these women have challenges in their everyday lives as scientists, you certainly have challenges in your everyday life as a communicator.
Yes, for sure. As I said, Iran has a rich historical legacy in astronomy. We had lots of great astronomers in the golden age of uh, astronomy in Iran. Uh, some of them are very well known, like Abdul Rahman Sufi,
Mm.
uh, Khaja Nasiruddin Tusi. We had a great observatory, the greatest observatory at the time in Iran, Maragha Observatory, that Khaja Nasir made it. These things are very interesting. Also, we had the uh, most prestigious calendar in the history. It's directly connect to the solar activity, so solar cycle. Uh, and after the Islamic ages in Iran, we had the moon calendar in Iran.
Mm.
So, the astronomy in Iran is something that you face it daily. So it's very common. You don't need to encourage people to know about astronomy. They also know it. They are also motivated to know. So it's very exciting. As I said, there are 20,000 amateur astronomers a year in Iran. So it's very easy. It's very interesting to work with this community. It's very easy. It's not a hard job. But also, there are some challenges, cultural challenges, social challenges. Um, no, there is, you know, I'm not going to say no support, but it's very few support from governments for outreach activities in Iran. I know lots of. Let me tell you something. We had Astronomy Day. We celebrated Astronomy Day in Iran in last month. And I had to say it's about 380 cities in Iran celebrating this day.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes. And even in villages far from the center, in the center of our desert, that
Mm.
that the children it's have not access to drinking water. There are some volunteers to carry up a telescope, going there, showing there the sky. You know, it's something amazing. So why not working for these amazing people who uh, and why don't you amplify their job in a globally in international communities?
Mm.
They deserve it. So this is something that I really this is really motivate me to work for these people. But there are all challenges, as you know. Organizing nighttime activities, outdoor activities, it's something that's different. We should work on it more and more. Uh, we have less standard resources for teachers, for trainers to easy access to them and learn and go to any part of Iran to teach. And also economic barriers. This is
Mm.
something that everybody faces. But in Iran, we had more challenges, internally and from some sanctions that we have. It's not easy for us to buy a telescope from Amazon or buy something from. It's too expensive for us, and transferring money is not allowed. And these challenges are uh, bothering, but would not stop us.
So how do you get around those challenges? Not being able to buy a telescope. I know some of our NOCs have actually um, created kind of like schematics for people to build their own telescope. Do you do anything like that?
Uh, we think about that. It's building a telescope or any other instrument that you can use. It's pretty easy. We are working on it. As I told you, before. I'm um, the chair of astronomy magazine in Iran. We try to write about building very small and easy to use astronomical instrument for all people with nothing, with just a rope or something. These things, yeah, we're working on it, but sometimes we need to have a professional instrument, professional facility to uh, work. And let me tell you something. As I told you, we are working in the biggest planetarium in Iran named Gombad Mina, and we don't access the full Doom videos to showing to people.
Hmm.
There's few of them that we buy early, very before everything. That they're we need to renew all these videos.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm not going to continue these challenges because there are lots of challenges, but yeah, we are happy to work for the uh, as I say, I try to make my words very diplomatic.
I'm sure. I'm sure. And I'm sorry for throwing a hardball at you. Uh,
No, that's okay.
well, why don't we, while we're waiting for questions to come in, there's some people who have said hello in the chat. So let's see. Turkey from Syria is here. Aviva Yamani from Indonesia. We are, of course, in Japan. So hello to everybody from Japan. Moja is here, of course. Cynthia is here, also in the office, dancing away. We have our another NOC from Syria, part of our NOC team, Nermeen, and Kirabel from Ethiopia. Some folks from UAE and Iraq, and Ojima is here, which is very exciting, from Nigeria, and of course, Teodora from Serbia. So thank you all for being here. I want to remind you that you can put your questions in the chat, and my colleagues here at the OIO who are in this direction will be putting those in the Zoom chat so I can see them and read them out loud. So, while I ask Arash this last question that I have, please bring those questions in because we want to hear from you guys. Anthony is here too from New Zealand, and Edith from
great.
Portugal.
Something that I want to mention is working in our region is something that we are very interested. As me and Moja and the Dizila is talking about the BRICS astronomy, so we can make our community bigger. 2 years ago, we had a joint workshop in radio astronomy in Iran and Turkey. So we're making a capacity builder event to find if we can work on radio astronomy in the region. And now we're welcome. We're open to any other countries around to think about if they have a project. We have some experience we can share, or vice versa. So why not? Let's chat to each other. Let's make this community bigger, and let's work together, especially in the region, because we are talking in the same language as. So yeah, these things are in our mind and in our talks with Moja every day.
That's really great. And that's so central to everything that we hope to do with the NOCS network, the National Outreach Coordinator Network. So much of it is about, providing support for astronomy engagement, astronomy communication communities within nations around the world. But what we love to see and what we really try to foster is this international collaboration and sharing of resources and best practices and knowledge and challenges across national, political, cultural, language borders. So what you're doing in Iran and, working with communities around the world is just so deeply important and so, kind of central to the OAO's mission. While we're waiting for questions to come in, I want to ask you, if people could leave this talk, this conversation with one thing, what would you want them to know about astronomy communication in Iran?
I just want to mention the name of our talk. We have shared the sky. We have shared the stories. So come to see what we have to share and share what you have with us. As I said before, the science, the communication, the connection is the most important things that they connect each other to having a brighter future, to make these tough times a little bit easier.
Mm.
So, yeah, why not? We are living in the same sky. So let's talk about the shared stories, the shared thoughts, not the differences.
Yeah, that's such a beautiful message. You know, we were actually meeting with the Director General of the National Astronomical Observatory of Japan, which is where we are. The OAO is based at Naoje. And we were having a discussion with the Director General. He was saying, you know, he's working on a collaboration with some people in Shanghai. And he said that, you know, we can put aside cultural differences or anything that we might disagree on because we're all looking in the same direction. We're all looking up at the sky. And that's, you know, so much of what we do in astronomy is really trying to unite people together despite any of the differences that we might have through our shared stories, through our shared sky. And that's just such a beautiful thing to impart into the world. So I don't see any questions coming in, which is very unfortunate because Arash is a wealth of information. And I hope that you take advantage of maybe trying to find him. He's part of our National Outreach Coordinator Network. When our website is fully online and everything, all of the information about our National Outreach Coordinators is online, you can find him there and maybe send him an email, see the ways that you guys can collaborate. But I love this place where we left off, where we're talking about shared story, shared sky, shared and collective understanding of our universe. And that's really what we strive to be doing. We actually do have a question. Do you conduct a monthly crescent observation event open to the public? This is from, I'm actually not sure where they're from.
Okay. As I said, because we had a moon calendar for our religious things in Iran, because we need to understand the exact date of Eid for Ramadan. These are this is very important for our culture, for our religious people who believe, who want to pray. And yes, and these things not coming from these days. I worked on moon crescent observation about 20 years ago, and we made lots of changes in the moon calendar. And these days, I know that we have more than 150 groups for hunting moon crescent in a special day around Iran. So this thing, we are not working on this because there's lots of group working around Iran, but that's a good point. I should think about it, that we had to do it in our public events also. Thank you.
Yes, and that question was actually from Tamim Altamimi. I hope that I pronounced that close to correct. We have another question, actually from Naomi, our deputy director, who's sitting in the room with me. What has been the after effects of your Melody of the Woman YouTube event? Then that's the YouTube video that we were talking about with women discussing their challenges in astronomy, if I'm remembering the title correctly.
Yeah, yes. The after effect is, the first thing is our scientist women convinced that they can just come and talk in a public event, uh, they should not just going to universities and serious talk about their jobs. And lots of women scientists come to me and ask, okay, we see that video, that's good. Can we come and just have a talk in a public events you have? The first thing is uh, they just free themselves in a word of not should be a strong women scientists or something. Just okay, you can be a scientist, but feel free, just be relaxed, talk not very um, hard talking science. This is the first thing that we're happy. And then we had lots of messages from uh, girls who said, okay, we saw this video. We said, okay, there is a way for us. Mm,
That's so important.
We should not, yeah, that's very important for us. That's all.
No, that's amazing. I mean, just to hear that, I mean, even if you hear it from one person, to hear that the work that you do and the really like the work that you're promoting has such a deep impact on people. That's so huge. I mean, that's ultimately like why we all wanted to do astronomy communication in the first place, right? Like, we
Yeah.
all come to it from this deep sense of wanting to have a really positive impact on society, and you're doing it. And that's amazing. So congratulations with the work that you've been doing.
Thank you. During the Mahgard event that we just played this video in a in our event in a planetarium, uh, lots of emotion comes, and that's something very beautiful for us. Uh, Lots of people, lots of girls are crying. Lots of girls, women are just proud of themselves. Lots of applause after the playing. Lots of emotion, lots of laugh, and lots of cry. I think uh, this is a good result for us to uh, engage all the people who are watching with their emotions, different emotions.
Mm. Yeah, it's so true. I mean, it has this deep power to bring out so much in us. There's, I think, a lot of scientists, a lot of academics like to think that science is this, kind of pure entity that exists outside of ourselves. But it's not true. It's very much deeply a part of who we are as humans, and the way that we interpret science and understand science is, completely dependent on our own context, our own language, our own biases, and our emotions about it too. It all works together in our one understanding of how things work. I see in the chat there's a lot of discussion about crescent observing, which is really great. Lots of people in different countries talking about doing that. I think we had our original question about this was from someone in UAE, United Arab Emirates, and then Aviva is talking about doing it in Indonesia, and folks doing it in Syria as well. So, there is this kind of commonality between different cultures, different places. Doesn't matter quite where you are, you're linked by this this one, everybody's looking at this one thing at one time and searching for it, which is a really beautiful thing.
Yes, of course. And we have, as I told you, we have lots of group experienced people who who are doing moon crescent observation every month. And we are helping to correct the method of observing the moon crescent, because seeing the moon crescent with the naked eyes in a different um, situation is something that's very important for especially Muslims.
Mm.
So yeah, uh, we had very, very experienced people who even write some parameters for visibility of the moon crescent in special months, special events for special events in our country. So yes, come connect with me. I can just make you connect with an expert. So we're happy to make these connections. We are here to make connections.
That's what we're all here for. That's what the network is for, building connections, building relationships between people. And that's, I feel like I'm saying this over and over. It's such a beautiful thing to see. It truly is, these, international connections and the ways that people understand each other in different ways. So I want to thank you, Arash, for joining us today. This was a lovely conversation. And I hope that people watching currently and people who will watch later will get a better understanding for what it's like doing astronomy communication in Iran, and also get inspired to do a little bit of the same work in their own communities and get in touch with Arash, because there's a lot to learn and there's a lot to do. So thank you again, Arash, for being here.
You're welcome.
And thank you also for everybody who's watching.
I will add something at the end. We just started a professional observatory in Iran, the 3.4 meter optical telescope, INO, Iranian National Observatory. So this is another link that we have. So if you're feeling that you're as a expert, a professional, wants to work with Iran, because it's in a very great, quiet, dark place. So with a astronomical seeing less than 0.7 arcsecond, so it's a great opportunity for experts, for professionals who want to have a proposal. We can think about making our connection not only with the amateurs and the one who only like this guy, but the professionals who want to do an expert work.
Yes. Yes, you did mention that. You did mention that you do a lot of connections between professional and amateur astronomers, and that's also a really important thing. Oh man, we could spend another hour talking about that. So maybe next time we'll have you back and we'll have that conversation. Okay, well, thank you again so much for coming up on the hour. And I really appreciate your time and sharing your stories. And hopefully we can meet in person one day and have this conversation face to face.
For sure. I want to thank you and the OAO team, Cynthia, Naomi, and everybody who working OAO. And also I want to thank Moja. I want to thank Mahgad team, all the girls, and Astronomy Magazine, Iranian National Observatory, Institute for Research in Fundamental Sciences, who support all these activities in Iran, and also Gumbad Mina, the planetarium here.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you again. And to everyone who's watching live, may your skies be dark and quiet.